In the last part, we headed towards the Android saga, with Goku meeting someone unexpected, his own future counterpart, with him time traveling to the past to give a warning about the threat of the androids, but also showing present Goku the level beyond Super Saiyan 2. And with that, our heroes must prepare. So, what do you think will happen? Find out in this 5th part of what if Goku was turned into an android. Future Goku stands there in this form, and witnessing this just amazes Goku. And Future Goku tells him that this was the form that allowed him to beat the androids. And of course they can go and find the androids now before they're activated, but just like in the original story, that's not gonna happen. Goku actually thinks that the androids are a motivator. He was already looking for a level beyond Super Saiyan, but now this gives him a bigger boost to try even harder. And now Bear witnessing the actual form, he'll know when he'll unlock it, and when he does, the androids won't actually be a problem. But Future Goku reiterates that he had this form for a while, so he has way more experience with it. So if they do unlock Super Saiyan 2, it might not actually be enough to defeat the androids right away. But Goku thinks that it shouldn't be a problem, because unlike him, they actually got a warning. With him, they didn't get no warning, it was out of nowhere. So he can rest assured that they'll win. So Future Goku powers down and gets ready to head back off to the future. He has to help rebuild it after all. But before he leaves, he gives Goku one tip. He might want to work on Gohan getting Super Saiyan. It'll be great for him to have just in case. But guarantee he will return. Once the androids awaken, he'll come back to the past. It's to reassure it even if they don't win, he'll come and defeat the androids. And with that, Goku tells him that he'll see them in 3 years, and he'll help fight their androids if needed. But hopefully enough, he doesn't have to. And with that, Future Goku leads back to the future, and the 3-year time skip has begun. And some things happen during this time skip. Of course, Goku is working on getting access to Super Saiyan 2, but that's not the only thing he's doing. His future counterpart told him to train Gohan to become a Super Saiyan as well. After hearing how he had died in the future, he wants to get Gohan as strong as he can so that doesn't happen. And Gohan doesn't object to this. In fact, he trains harder because of this. And sometime during the time skip, Gohan actually unlocks Super Saiyan. Piccolo then comes in and says that he'll take care of the rest of Gohan's training, because Goku still hasn't gotten Super Saiyan 2 yet. So he wants Goku to focus all the time he has left to get in that form. And with that, more time has passed, to the point where Gero finally activates the androids. But this time, he actually didn't turn himself into an android. With his main lab being destroyed all those years ago, he had to relocate and build a new lab, without having much resources. He pretty much built these androids in a cave, with a box of scraps. If you get that reference, applauds to you. But Gero only had enough machinery to build 3 androids. And after realizing that Goku was a failure, he doesn't kidnap humans and cyberize them, turning them into androids. These ones are fully mechanical. Now these androids do have some problems, such as them being sentient where it causes problem in their behavior, to where they decide that it's better that they act on their own, instead of following orders from Gero. Because what would happen if they do complete their mission? Will Gero just power them off and dismantle them? Or just keep working them like slaves? They don't want that, they want their own free will. Of course, they're gonna do their mission, it's in their programming. But they want to do it on their own terms. So, they kill Gero. And with the data they have on Goku and the others, and on Super Saiyan as well, they're confident that they can beat them. So these 3 androids head out, aiming to kill Goku and all the Z fighters. Then after that, they'll wipe out the rest of the human race. And if you haven't guessed it, these 3 androids are 13, 14, and 15. So they send off to fight their first target, Goku. Meanwhile, Goku, Piccolo, and Gohan arrive at the area where the androids are supposed to attack. They haven't seen anything yet, but they're keeping a close eye out, until someone arrives. And it's not the androids, it's Future Goku, and he's glad to see that they've gotten a lot stronger. And Future Goku reminds them, he will help if things go south, but gauging by their strength, they probably won't need it. A little bit of time has passed, until Gohan looks up and sees people flying above them, and he can't sense their energy. That must be the androids. They then dart down towards the group, and Future Goku immediately recognizes them. That's the androids. The androids then greets them, saying that they're here to destroy Goku. But something confuses them. There's 2 Gokus. Why is there 2? They didn't get data on 2 Gokus. But President Goku tells them not to think about it too much, as their fight is with them, with Goku fighting Android 13, Piccolo fighting Android 14, and Gohan fighting Android 15. Goku and Gohan transform into Super Saiyan, while Piccolo activates Kaioken times 50. During the time skip, Piccolo has been mainly training with Kaioken, improving it. So now he can go up to times 50. In fact, he can go beyond that. But it adds more strength to his body. Gohan and Piccolo are actually doing surprisingly well, but it is a tough battle for them. Even though they're even right now, the androids have infinite energy. So if it gets prolonged more, Gohan and Piccolo will just end up running out of energy, and they'll be defeated that way. Meanwhile, Goku and Android 13 are actually exactly even, and there is no stamina issue because they both have infinite stamina. Android 13 then asks Goku something. Isn't he worried about his friends? Of course he's fine because he has infinite stamina. They both can do this all day. But what about his son and the Namekian? Cause it looks like they're about to run out of energy soon. And once they do, they'll be finished. Isn't he gonna help him out? And Goku says no. He trusts that they will win. In fact, he shouldn't underestimate them. Cause they haven't even gone full power yet. What? What do you mean that they're not full power? He doesn't know about the Namekian's technique, but he thought that him and his son Super Saiyan was the limit. But Goku tells him no. They've been holding back to gauge their strength. And they are impressively strong, but they're way stronger. Goku tells Gohan and Piccolo that it's time, as Piccolo powers up as his aura gets a fiercer red, as he says Kaioken times 100. As then Gohan then powers up as a huge aura surrounds him. As it grows fiercer and fiercer, his hair spikes up and electricity goes around him, as he then transforms into a Super Saiyan 2. And future Goku's glad that Gohan's grown this strong. He's a Super Saiyan 2. And present Goku tells his future counterpart that Gohan's actually the first one to unlock this form, not him. Then in an instant, Gohan and Piccolo both dismantle androids 14 and 15. And Android 13 is surprised that both of them got defeated at the same time in an instant. He then thinks that he's probably not gonna win here. If they are that strong, then he'll probably lose as he is currently. 13 then sees remains of what's left of 14 and 15, and that's perfect. He didn't expect to do this so soon, but he has no choice. As parts from 14 and 15 flies towards Android 13, as the parts then merge into him, giving birth to Super Android 13. Goku then tries to fight 13, but he can't do anything against him. Goku then powers up to Super Saiyan 2 and he is able to put up more of a fight, but he is struggling. While Android 13's been fending him off, he's been collecting data on Goku, learning his fighting style and he's been adapting to it. But then someone jumps in to help Goku. It's Gohan. With the both of them working together, they're able to overpower Android 13. While the two of them are continuously attacking him, Piccolo has an idea. He can't do too much as Kaioken times 100 put too much of a strain on his body, but he needs to focus what remaining ki he has left into one last attack. He needs Goku and Gohan to buy him a little time while he prepares. Piccolo then puts 2 fingers on his forehead, charging up a special beam cannon. Goku then sees what Piccolo's going for, and he decides that he'll try to hold out the android as long as he can. Someone then ends up beside him. It's his future counterpart, as he turns Super Saiyan 2. Even though he said he wasn't going to intervene, this is different from what happened in his timeline. His Android 13 never absorbed the parts of the other androids and became this. And he doesn't want this future to be as messed up as his was. And with the two of them is more than enough to fend off Android 13. And 13 can't believe how strong this other Goku is. As he's getting pushed back heavily by them, he's losing ground. But then he looks and sees that Piccolo's charging up some kind of attack. It must be the one that he used against that one Saiyan that arrived on Earth many years ago. He then launches a blast at Piccolo, and a huge explosion occurs. But then, as the smoke clears, Android 13 then sees an attack come through the smoke, hitting him in the gut. But that's impossible. 13 saw Piccolo get hit by that blast. It should have killed him, and it was a direct hit, but just not on Piccolo. Gohan shielded Piccolo from the blast, took it head on. And he did get injured quite a bit, but it was worth it for Piccolo to finally launch his attack, and it looks like it worked. 13 took the blast and he's heavily weakened. So the two Gokus decide to finish it off, launching a double Kamehameha at Android 13. And the two blasts hit 13, destroying him. The two Gokus then power down, as they finally did it. And present Goku is a little bit disappointed. He wished that he could have handled this on his own, without the help of his future counterpart. But he doesn't sulk about it too much, as he knows that he'll just have to get even stronger now. And future Goku is glad. Even though he couldn't change his future, he's happy knowing that this future will thrive. And it was thanks to him. And since this timeline is safe, he decides to head back to his. Future Goku thanks them, and they thank future Goku. Because without his warning or his help, their future would have ended up like his. And they're grateful for that. Future Goku then heads back to his timeline. Goku, Gohan, and Piccolo then decide they should head home as well. Chi-Chi is probably worried about Gohan being gone for so long, and she's probably going to be even more worried that he's now injured. And with that, this ends the Android saga, and we enter a time skip. A few years have passed, and Goku's been continuing his training, and he's been growing a lot in strength rather quickly. And with Goku being alive, he actually trains with Gohan too, and Gohan actually does want to train. Ever since he heard his future counterpart dying and not being strong enough to help, that pretty much was a motivator for Gohan. Because if he wants to protect this world and his loved ones, he's gonna have to be strong. Pretty much so that his world don't end up like the future version of it. But one day during their training, Goku and Gohan feel 3 energies coming from space. One of them they actually kind of recognize, but the other 2 they don't. But one of them is incredibly high power. They then see a ship land, and Goku and Gohan goes towards it, seeing who it is. One person steps off the ship, which they recognize who it is. It's Vegeta. And they're both actually quite surprised that he's back. From what future Goku said, he never returned. Vegeta then explains what's been happening while he was in space. He's been out there destroying the Frieza Force, or at least as much as he can. He eventually ran into King Cold and the Ginyu Force and defeated all of them. And then he ran into a group called the Heaters, and they apparently also worked for Frieza, and so he got rid of them too. But while getting rid of the Heaters, he also met an interesting person, and apparently he worked for them. His name was Granola, and he was a Cerulean that was pretty much wiped out by the Saiyans, but he seemed like he was the sole survivor. And he was actually quite a skilled fighter. Now he wasn't powerful physically, but for being a bounty hunter, he was quite strategic. But Vegeta ended up telling him that Frieza also eradicated his race too, and he told him that he was the one that killed Frieza, even though Goku was the one who landed the final blow. But Granola ended up not believing him. It was until that Monito showed up and actually told Granola the truth, that in fact he was saved by a Saiyan. But since Goku wasn't there, Monito doesn't tell him that the Saiyan was actually Bardock. But then after that, he journeyed out more into space, continuing his training, until one day he decided that he was ready for his rematch against Kakarot. So he was getting ready to set a course for Earth, until he felt an incredible power. He felt it on one of the planets nearby. So he searched for it and found planet Vampa. And on that planet, he found two very interesting people. That's when they step off the ship and Goku sees that they're Saiyans. And Vegeta says that their name is Paragus and Broly, which is where we'll leave this part off. What did you guys think of this video, and what do you think will happen next? If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It supports me and it supports the channel. Anyways, I'm DBZ Anarchy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.